Here's another really great way in which you can not only increase the quality of your hiring, but also decrease the time of your hiring. Hi everybody, it's Taz here from Melius Consulting. How are you doing today? I hope all is well. Talking at the moment about how organizations can improve their assessing capabilities when it comes to assessing talent in their hiring process. A really critical part of the hiring process. This is the decision-making part of the process. And if you improve your capabilities in your decision-making, then by definition, I think, you will achieve better hiring outcomes in terms of quality. But what I'm going to talk about today is also going to help you to achieve a faster hiring outcome. Now, one of the things that I've seen throughout my career when coaching hiring managers and recruiting organizations is that very often there is a critical thought process that's omitted when it comes to evaluating candidates, and that is this. If a candidate isn't quite the right fit, and candidates are always not quite the right fit, there's always something missing, right? No candidate is 100%, we all get that. So if the candidate is not quite the right fit for your role, oftentimes I've seen hiring managers veer towards rejecting that candidate. But there's a really important question that should be asked, and that is this. What is the investment required to bring that candidate to the level you need them to be versus the time that will be required to hire somebody different? Right. Now, this sounds fairly straightforward and fairly logical, right? However, I've seen time and time again that hiring managers don't think like this. They say, okay, the candidate doesn't have X, Y, Z skill or experience, so we're going to reject them. What I would encourage is a different type of thought process, which would say, the candidate doesn't have X, Y, Z skills. For us to develop those skills with the candidate, or for us to enable the candidate to develop those skills, will take us 3 months. For us to be able to find a new candidate will take us maybe 2 months. But then that candidate will also not have certain skills, so there will still be a development process for the preferred candidate, for the more ideal candidate. Hiring is always a risk management exercise, right? There is no perfect candidate, so every candidate comes with an element of risk. The best hiring teams and decisions are risk management decisions. So when you are faced with a candidate, as you most likely and oftentimes will be, who is not an ideal fit, evaluate the risk. By risk, what I mean is, how long will it take for us to build the right skills that the individual is missing versus the risks to the business of not having anybody in that position for X amount of time? Very often you'll find that it'll take less time for the candidate to learn new skills, to assimilate new skills, to be that 80-90% candidate than it will to find a completely new one who you will have to upskill anyway. So by taking this approach, by using this thinking, not only will you hire talent and give them the message that you're willing to invest in them when they come into your opportunity, which is a great message to send to a candidate. You're willing to invest and upskill them. Not only will you do that, which will build engagement and all of those things, not only will you do that, but you'll also find better quality talent and you'll reduce your hiring time. Okay, so there is another tip this week on how you can really improve your assessment capability and deliver better outcomes when it comes to hiring. I hope that's been useful. I wish you all hiring success. Reach out to me anytime if you'd like to discuss this tip or any of the other videos I've done this week and over the last 3 weeks. And I'll look forward to talking to you again very soon. Have a great day. See ya. Bye.